You're listening to the Integrated Business Planning Podcast.
How valuable do you think it is to create this kind of centralized repository, right? Because I think in some instances, organizations or people always think, okay, can use Excel to do this, so I'm not really
Mhm.
not willing to invest, say, in something like this, right?
Right.
So how would you, from your perspective, put a value on the value of connecting data so that you can make better decisions?
I think Excel's great as a testing ground. Like if you've got like a concept of a report that you want to build, it's really easy to kind of put something together quick and dirty in Excel. Where Excel fails, from what I've seen, is the maintainability of those reports. It's really difficult over time to aggregate information and build historicals data using an Excel sheet. So then it becomes, so either that data is just lost to time, or you've got one individual that is the owner of that report and they move on, and it's just easy. There isn't any durability to that data. Another issue that I run into quite a bit is Excel-based reporting, or KPIs or dashboards or whatever you want to build. It's prone to errors.
Yeah.
Especially if you're trying to build relationships from one data set to another. Like if you don't have, if everything isn't updated when you're wanting to present that information, then you're working off of old data. And as soon as information that you give to a team is found out to be faulty because of one issue or another, then the trust in that report, from the organization's perspective, becomes eroded. And I think that puts you in a really dangerous position.
Yeah.
Because then a management team or a manager might be like, well, the report really doesn't mean anything anyways, so like I'll just go off and do my own thing. So having that trust in the accuracy and the reliability of information is really important. So having information in a central repository, and I've heard a bunch of different names for that central repository. We use Data Mart. I've heard Data Lake, right?
Yeah.
But that Data Mart allows you to pull information from those silos in real time. So it accurately represents what's going on in the business. So it helps build integrity in the data that you're presenting. And it allows you to kind of automate those relationships so that you're presenting information in a timely manner. And so having that trust is important for one, but secondly, allowing you to be able to start analyzing data across data sets. Like the value there is in being able to better accurately hone in and I guess rally the team better. It's like from a budget perspective, if you can identify like really quickly where there might be variances in the budget, like in real time, kind of as information's coming in, being able to execute on maybe an action plan to bring yourself back in line with budget, or things like that. Like they'll help you be a little bit more fiscally responsible. So there's definitely value in that regard. But I see the real potential in being able to analyze information across different silos. So like, efficiency metrics, take information from that HR silo and analyze it in different ways against your production data, right? Or bring in market information, things like that would really allow you to forecast better, but then respond to changes in the market quicker, right? So the faster that you can have information in front of you, then the quicker you're able to devise plans to kind of create your own destiny, right?
Yeah. Kind of capitalize on opportunities or mitigate risks that that may have gone unforeseen, and being able to track that whole business, I guess, supply chain ultimately, and all, how you get from A to B. It's always, and again, having some of those also create these drivers, these business drivers that can help with a forecast, right? So that can also be a baseline or a KPI that you could use to help a forecast. And I know when we tend to forecast, you do it more at an average or aggregate level, but when you connect the data sources, there is that potential to get a little more granular, to better understand, to move away from the averages and really go in and understand, what's really shifting the needle in terms of, like a sales production forecast or what we're expecting. So.
Yeah, exactly. Because ultimately the averages, in a lot of circumstances, the averages just tend to be meaningless, and it's difficult to action upon, right? But if you can build systems that allow you to peek into the future a little bit. So like our sales backlog, for example, we've built dashboards around what we've got coming down the pipeline for each of our production lines. So that's allowed us to see, for one of our cargo lines, production might be curtailing, for example, right? So then that allows our sales team to action that, right?
Go drive more sales.
Yeah.
Go drive more activity on the cargoes, or just devise plans for ensuring production targets are met, I'm presuming, right? Whether that's maybe a pricing conversation or expanding on different customer base.
Yeah, exactly. But then having that visibility enables you to have those conversations before it becomes a problem.
Yeah, exactly. Being able to plan forward. So,
thank you for watching this episode of the Integrated Business Planning Podcast. If you have a transformational story to tell, or would like to drop some wisdom or share some insights about your experience or your journey, I'd love to have you on the podcast. So please reach out. Thank you.